Welcome to Community Roundup, powered by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. This is a show where we look at nonprofits, charitable organizations, and sports clubs that make Fort St. John an area such a remarkable place to live. My name is Ed Hitchens, and I'm your host. And of course, today we are joined by Alyssa Currie, the Executive Director of the Tse'k'wa Heritage Society. Alyssa, thank you for spending some time with me today. How you doing?
Ed, I'm great. Thank you for coming out.
Okay, so for people who wouldn't know what Tse'k'wa is, that are unfamiliar with it, just tell us exactly what it is. Give us a brief history of the project and the the Heritage Society. Excuse me.
Yeah, so Tse'k'wa means rock house in Deneza. It is a cave site, a cultural and archaeological site dating back 12,500 years.
So to the Ice Age.
To the Ice Age, yes. So 500 generations of Deneza people have been coming to this site, visiting the site and carrying out their cultural activities that are preserved in the archaeological record here. It is one of Canada's oldest archaeological sites and is now preserved as a National Historic Site. That's all because of the Heritage Society and the Three Nations who came together in 2012 to purchase the property. So in 2012, three of our local Deneza First Nations, Doig River, Prophet River, and West Moberly, came together, purchased the property, and have been advocating for its public use and public engagement ever since, advocating for it to become a National Historic Site, rezoning the property for public use, and over the last 3 years doing substantial infrastructure improvements to the site in order to facilitate public use and engagement and learning about the Deneza history and culture that's still here today.
And you touched upon the infrastructure. We are standing here in the brand new archaeological dome that was built last year. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, so the dome was built to facilitate engagement with the archaeological site. Archaeology sites are protected in the province of British Columbia, and so the dome allows us to provide access to one of our archaeology units down below us year-round and to provide that space for our public tours to come. Other infrastructure projects in the site have included accessible outhouses, an amphitheater, and my personal favorite, our interpretive trail down to the cave that is rated for low mobility use, which means folks who might need a little bit more assistance can make use of that trail and the benches that we have along the way to get down to the cave.
And signage as well, right?
And interpretive signage, yes. We did about 1.5 years worth of community consultations with our First Nations communities to develop signs that showcase both elders' teachings and cultural knowledge, as well as some of the significant archaeological finds from the site.
Okay, so in terms of providing services for the community, obviously, cave tours and learn about the history of the Deneza people within the region, but what other services does your organization provide for the community?
Yeah, so like you said, we are open to tours. Right now, self-guided tours are available every day from 9 to 5. We welcome the public to come out and go down to the cave, read the interpretive signs, maybe have a picnic in one of our picnic areas. We also offer school tours for our community. This year, our school tours are supported by Pacific Cambrium, and we're really excited to have their support in facilitating some of the public access, those school tours to the site. We also host community events around some of the kind of well-known Indigenous commemorative days like National Indigenous Peoples Day and Truth and Reconciliation Day. Where possible, as a small nonprofit organization, we do also try to provide support to some of the other Indigenous nonprofits for days like Red Dress Day coming up or the Moose Hide Campaign Day. Both of those events are being organized by the Friendship Center and some of the other local partners at Festival Plaza. And so you'll often see us at other community events, whether it be with a booth or just some information about the site and the history. And we're expanding some of our programming this year. We just received a donation from LP Building Solutions to bring in a new programming cart, and so we're filling up our programming cart with all kinds of exciting materials around trapping and flint knapping and different materials to showcase some of that history and that living history and culture that's still being practiced today.
Okay, so I remember coming here last year for National Indigenous Peoples Day and Truth and Reconciliation Day. Do you have anything planned for that this year? Is that something that's still up in the air? Are you trying to get details ironed out? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we are hoping to host both of those days again this year at the site. We are still ironing out some of those details. If you're an organization or a community partner that maybe would like to offer some support, we'd love to hear from you. We are a very small nonprofit organization. I'm currently our only staff, but we do really rely on the village to come together. It takes a village, and we've been really grateful for all the community partners that help us make those events a success. And so certainly we are hoping to do something, and we're just ironing out what the specifics are.
Okay, so as somebody who is familiar with the heritage site and is not Indigenous but would like to help, how do they go about doing so? Even for people who are Indigenous who aren't familiar with how they go about giving a hand to Tse'k'wa, tell us about how they do that.
Yeah, so we are a nonprofit with charitable status, and donations are absolutely always appreciated. No donation is too small to make a difference. Those donations can be made via our website. And like I said, we appreciate any level of support from community members, from organizations. The other way that people can support us, and frankly, the best way is actually the cheapest way and somewhat the easiest way, and that is just by spreading the word. Follow us on Facebook, talk to your elected officials, talk to local media and tell them that this is something that's important to you, that you want to hear more about, that it's a cause that you feel is worth supporting, is worth getting people out, getting community out and involved. And attend the events, not only the Tse'k'wa events, but all of the community events, things like Moose Hide Day or whether it's powwow or any of these other community events. I myself am a non-Indigenous person, and I know that that's something that I've kind of had to come to terms with is am I really welcome at these events? And absolutely, everyone is. And if you're waiting on an invitation to come to an event, consider this your invitation. We'd love to have you come out. I know the community members have been so lovely and gracious and welcoming to me, and they're always really excited to have people that are interested in coming out to learn about some of these important events, to engage with the culture. And so, come on out, and like I said, follow our Facebook. We have a new staff position available right now that we're hiring for. We're hiring an educational programmer to support engagement with particularly schools, but also youth groups and community groups. So if you know of somebody that's looking for a position to support cultural programming, that's a really great way to support Tse'k'wa, is just sharing that news, sharing that those events, and connecting with the people that you engage with and encouraging them to come as well.
Okay, and as you talked about the history of the community and the culture and the site, you had a archaeological field school last year in partnership with UNBC. Talk about that a little bit. What's going to be the next step going forward with that?
Yeah, so the field school that we hosted last year was our second archaeology field school, and it's part of a 5-year research agreement that we have, both with UNBC and SFU. We were really grateful to have that field school, to actually find some new artifacts during the field school. One of the most exciting finds during the field school was a collection of microblades, which are a specific type of archaeological tool that are usually quite rare at archaeology sites. And so this year we're going to be doing some analysis of the material that we found, those artifacts particularly, and looking for ways to share that with the community. And like I said, we do have another year after this year on our permit. And so this year we're going to be talking with community about what that that looks like for next year and how to engage. Very shortly, we have some educational material coming out with SFU for our schools that we're really excited about. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be a video animation and some curriculum-based content for schools to be able to share what Tse'k'wa is and how we are combining both traditional and scientific knowledge at the site.
Okay, so before I let you go, where can people find out more information? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, so for more information, you can visit our website, Tse'k'wa.ca. That's Tse'k'wa with a silent T, Tsekwa.ca. We also have a Facebook page. Both of those are really great ways to keep up with the events that we have going on and the positions that we're hiring and just general news. We're really grateful to Energetic City that these opportunities are available to share the nonprofits. They're doing such incredible work in our community. I feel really lucky to count ourselves amongst the groups that are doing really great work in our community. And I would say to anybody out there that's interested about this, please do come out and check out the site. The trail down to the cave is now completely melted, and so it's a great time to come out to visit the site, to read those interpretive signs, and just open yourself up to learning about this site, whether it's a site that you're new to, maybe you're new to the community or new to Canada. Come on out and experience that. If you are a First Nations community member, maybe come and revisit some of that history with some of our elders and some of the archaeological knowledge. It really is a place that is welcome to everyone, and so we're grateful for this opportunity to share, and we really hope that people come out and attend our events and support in whatever way they can.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Alyssa, as always, thank you very much for the time. This has been Ed Hitchens for Energetic City for the Community Roundup. Once again, the Community Roundup is brought to you by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. And if you like what you see, want to see up-to-date content, click that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time.